Hello everybody, I'll give everybody a chance to get on board. Nobody's here yet. But if you watch the video later, I don't know what I was gonna say. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat myself because people are gonna come back online eventually. But I've got the oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and these notifications popping up. And I have 3 cups of, hi, Sam. Is it Sam or is that Stephanie on Sam's thing? Tell me more. Or is it Sam? Is it Sam and Stephanie and Bella? You know what, everybody? Today is my friend Stephanie's birthday. So, hi, happy birthday! She's my neighbor. She lives right over there. But social distancing, so we are connecting virtually, grabbing Sam and Bella. They're cleaning up sugar. Sugar? What were they doing with sugar? Stephanie is the most amazing preschool teacher, and she's always got these amazing, thanks, Evan. She always got these amazing activities to do with kids, things that I just would never come up with. Steph, I need to convince you to do some YouTube live stuff because the mamas out there and the papas too could really use some guidance with, figuring out how to. Oh, hello, Jay Awesomes. Jay Awesomes, what's your real name? I don't know what your real name is, but hi. So Stephanie's got the most amazing activities that she does, right, Madison? She makes volcanoes with the kids, and she's always sending these amazing things that you can do that it's just like totally over my head. The kitchen is my domain. So, okay, we've got 3 people so far, but that's totally fine. Everybody's going to come trickling in as they can, which is no problem, and you can also watch the video later. The idea behind this is just to get everybody, I don't know, a breather. I like my mystery. Okay, Jay Awesomes. Okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I guess I have to be. That's fine. That's true social distancing right there. Not telling me your name. Anyway, it's we're gonna have a fun time in the kitchen right now, and I'm gonna show up here. My husband has actually boldly requested that we do 10:15, 10:30 next week, and I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as long as we are stuck at home. So you will always have this to look forward to. And as I mentioned, if you saw this in my Instagram stories or Facebook, I can't remember where I put it, but you send me your email, I will send you an email with the recipe and the ingredients for what we're going to do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week. And then if you're able to get the ingredients, you can. And if you're not, we can talk beforehand and I can help you with substitutions because there's always a way to substitute. Okay, I'm taking you with me over here because I want you to see. Can you see? Is it backwards? So I preheated the oven to 350 and I put 3 cups of pecans, however you say it, whatever, on a baking sheet, and I covered it with parchment paper. That is my go-to. If anybody is out there still using foil, please do not do that, okay? No cooking with foil. It is no bueno. If you want more information on that, we can chat, but no baking with aluminum foil. Parchment paper all the way, or glass. Glass is good too, or ceramic. There's so many options. Cast iron. Oh my gosh, I could keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna set the timer for, you know what? I said 5 minutes, but I'm gonna do 3 for now because here's the deal. When you're making pecan butter, pecan, does anybody want to weigh on the pronunciation? Because I just don't know. Hi, Maria. Hello. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Valeria. Go ahead and send me comments if you want me to say hello to your little ones or you or whatever, because this is supposed to be interactive and fun. That's the point, so that we can feel like we're all together, even though, we're in our own houses. We can pretend. Anyway, a pecan, however you say it, is a very light nut. So we're going to lightly toast it enough so that I can start to smell the pecan, but not burn the pecan. That's what we want to do. So I'm going to put this in the 3 cups of pecans in the oven, spread out in an even layer on a baking sheet for about 3 to 5 minutes. I don't want to burn it because then we're going to have butter that tastes burned. If you're not using pecans because you don't have any on hand and you're using, I don't know, walnuts, cashews, almonds, I mean, you really can do this with any nut or seed. The method is the same. And the method is you toast your nut or seed just until you start to smell the fragrance of, of that actual nut or seed. Then you take it out, let it cool for just a few minutes, and then we're going to put it in a food processor. We're literally just going to press the button on, and then we're going to wait, and it's going to turn into butter. It's the most fascinating thing. When I first got into cooking and I realized that you could make your own nut butter, I thought that was the most amazing thing in the world. I don't know if you all know this, but I do have a cookbook, and the recipe is in the cookbook, but now you're going to have the recipe yourself, so you're going to need the cookbook. So there you go. I am going to go grab my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, a lot of people ask me, can you make nut butter in a blender? Yes and no. It depends on your blender. If it's a really, really high-powered blender, you got better luck. Without a high-powered blender like a Breville Boss or a Vitamix, I would say no dice. Then you might have to add oil in order to make the butter become butter. And I don't want to add oil to my nut butter if I don't have to. So I'd say food processor is really the ticket, and also the bowl of the food processor is bigger than the cup of the blender. So that also helps with making a smoother butter. So let me go get my food processor. I happen to have 2 food processors. This one is old. This is my favorite though. It's a Cuisinart. Oh, hang on. The pecans are calling. Pecans. Okay. I'm starting to smell a little bit of the nut, but not a ton of it. So I'm going to let this go for just another minute. And I'm just going to do a minute at a time because I do not want to burn the pecans. Apparently I've decided pecan is the way to say it. Anyway, so this food processor is my favorite. It's a Cuisinart because it's got a thick blade. I got another one brand new a few years ago, and the blade is half the size. And that actually makes it harder to make nut butter. So the blade also makes a difference in making nut butters. The difference is probably if you've got one with a skinnier blade, making something with a lighter nut like a pecan or a walnut, that butter is going to be easier to make. If you're making almond butter or hazelnut butter, I know you are, Steph, it's going to be a little bit harder and it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay. You know, good things come to those who wait. Okay, so let me just plug this in, and yes, I hear you. So we're going to take our nuts, our hot nuts. Noted. Okay. Out the oven. Ooh, I can smell them. You want to see? Here, let's do this. You want to see? Come here, Babaloo. There are nuts. Oh my gosh, I feel like, no offense, Mom, but I feel like you. Hi, Matthias. Nice to see you. Okay, this was really hot, sweetheart. Ooh, does it smell good? Yeah, do you want to pull up a chair? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Victoria's there, and Valeria's there, and Bella's there, and I don't know if they'll join right now, but I think Nate and Dawson might be there, and Gemma, Stephanie, Maria, and Jay Awesome. Jay Awesomes? Isn't that a cool name, Madison?
Yeah, Jay Awesomes.
Jay Awesomes, don't touch this. It's very hot, okay? Sweetie, I don't want you to burn your head. This is my husband, who most of you know.
How are you?
Maybe some of you were just doing his yoga class.
I know. Anybody come over from yoga? We're just doing yoga.
Oh,
Whoa,
jeez.
jeez.
So,
Watch your head.
Ted's doing... Oh, Maria says, hi, Madison. Ted does 9 a.m. live stream yoga every day, except so
Sunday.
you're basically turning the whole nut into a paste. Did I get that right? Yes, Matt. Yes, that's what we're doing. It's yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We're just gonna put the nut in the nuts plural into the food processor, and we're gonna turn it into a butter. So I'm just gonna lift this parchment paper, like this, and dump it into the food processor. I lost a few nuts. Come here, nuts. Come here, nuts. Okay. Now, at this point, you can just turn the thingy on. What is the thingy? The food processor. I'm losing my words. But I like to add cinnamon. And at this point, you could add any kind of spice that you wanted. Maybe you were thinking you wanted turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and make like a pumpkin pie kind of butter. This is where you can start to get creative. Also, you could combine nuts. So you could do almond pecan butter. You can do macadamia peanut. You can do whatever you want. So, and then play around with the spices. So I'm going to put a pinch of cinnamon because it tastes really good. And I'm going to add a touch of Himalayan pink sea salt. So for those of you who don't know, salt, just a touch. There we go. Salt is in almost all recipes because it brings out the dominant flavor. So I was in culinary school once, and if you've heard this before, I'm sorry, but this left a mark on me, and I made a roasted red pepper bisque or soup or whatever it was. And every time you make something, you have to take it up to the teacher, and the teacher tastes it. And I made it, and I brought it up, and he said, go get me some salt. And he literally took a pinch of salt and went, psh, put it in the soup, stirred it up again, and said, taste that now. And it literally went from flat. Is this the same way to make at-home Nutella? Yes, Sam, it is. I'll talk about that in a second once I start this. So anyway, the soup went from bland to amazing, just with a pinch of salt. So that's why you'll see baking has salt in it. And that's why the salted chocolate and salt and caramel stuff is so popular. It's because it makes the flavor more intense. Okay, this is going to be loud, so you might want to close your ears. I don't know if I can mute this. I wonder if I can. Oh, I'm going to mute the microphone for just a second, okay? So that I'm going to save your ears. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna unmute myself for a second. I just want you to see. I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but this is gonna happen really fast with Pecan specifically. What I want to do is just stop it for a minute, and I want to scrape down. So see, first it kind of turns into a powder, so like a meal. So you buy almond meal from the store. Now you actually don't have to buy almond meal. You can just make your own. You just stop the food processor right now. But it's already starting to get a little bit moist. So I'm just gonna let it keep going, and eventually it's just gonna turn into butter. When you're dealing with a nut that's as light as a pecan, you actually want to pay close attention because you can overdo it, and then you kind of get this like liquid pecan butter, which is fine, but I prefer it not to be liquid. So while that's doing its thing, that lighting is bad. Am I making you dizzy? So Steph, Sam, I don't know which one of you asked the question about Nutella, but yes, this is how you can make homemade Nutella. And I actually see, I'm looking at my cookbook right now. I don't know if I put it in the cookbook. Oh, I did. So in my cookbook, as you can see right there. Is that backwards? I don't even know. I have a recipe for chocolate hazelnut spread. So if you're using hazelnuts, what I would suggest today is do 1.5 cups of hazelnuts, and then I'll send you the recipe for the Nutella. But then after that, I'll just read off this. You're gonna put 1/2 cup of coconut milk or almond milk or any non-dairy milk. You're gonna put 1/4 cup of maple syrup or some other liquid sweetener. I prefer maple syrup. A 1/4 cup of cocoa powder or cacao powder, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of sea salt. Come on, my friends. Check in on my butter. There we go. Yeah, so you can make a healthy... Sure. You want to come and pull up a chair? There we go. So basically the rest of the process is just waiting for this to turn into butter. So talk amongst yourselves. You saw it. Let's see. Madison, sweetheart, your brother's still sleeping. We're getting cabin fever. Anybody else? Okay, I'm gonna scrape again. Scrapey, scrapey, scrape. Looking good, looking good. Talk to my food. It's an important part of cooking. You may think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Food is energy. You are energy. If you're in a bad mood, children are such a blessing. They truly are, Jay Awesomes. They truly are. If I'm cooking and in a bad mood, I'm honest. Like, honestly, my food doesn't taste good. I know that sounds crazy, and you might think I'm nutty, but when I put my stuff in the oven, I say bake beautifully for people. When I'm making my butter, I encourage it. And actually, somebody was telling me about this, was it? This commercial. Was it an IKEA commercial or something? And they did a campaign on bullying. And they took 2 plants, and they put the plants in a school. And they told the kids to encourage one plant and be mean to the other plant. So for the one plant, they said, oh, you're doing great, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. It's turning into butter. I'm just going to scrape it down. I want you to see what's happening. So for the one plant, they said, you're beautiful, you're so great, you're going to be such a tall tree. Starting to turn into butter. And for the other plant, they said, you're not very nice, and they were very mean to the plant. And you know what? The plant that was talked to nicely thrived, and the plant that was not talked to very nicely died. So, energy and intention is everything. It's starting to happen. Okay, the butter is forming. So at this point, this happens quickly because it's pecans. If this were almonds, it wouldn't happen this fast. Walnuts would happen this fast too, but almonds would not, and hazelnuts won't either. It might take like 10 to 15 minutes before it starts turning into a butter. So you're not doing anything wrong. You just have to give it some time. So at this point, I'm going to stop it because I want to check the consistency. So right now, let me show you. Can you see that? You can kind of see that. You see that? Ooh. So right now it's like a paste, but I want it to be more like a butter. You could stop at this point, but I'm gonna go a little bit further because I want it to be a little bit more liquidy. This consistency right now is actually good for spreading on toast, but I want to go further. Let's do it. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, it came out great, didn't it, Jay Austin? Oh, have to pay attention. Don't distract me. Here's how creamy it's going to be. Oh, wait, Ashley. Just wait. Am I saying your name right? Matthias? Let me know. Okay. It's getting there. Okay, it's starting to get even more buttery. Here we go. A little bit longer. Somebody else just joined. Hi, we're almost done making pecan butter. Oh, yeah, I figured you were German. Do you live in Germany? My cousin lives in Hamburg. She's amazing. She's a dancer. She was the dance captain for Mamma Mia in Hamburg until it closed. Now I don't know what she's doing. Let's see. Oh, you guys. Okay, so I don't want to go much longer because I don't want it to get too liquidy. But check this out. Do you see? Okay, this just looked at my shirt. What is wrong with me? I swear to God. Okay. There we go. You see that? So I'm going to get it a little bit longer, but we've got butter, people. We've got butter, and all we did... Oh, you live near Berlin. Cool. I have been to Berlin, and I think we went to Luxembourg when I went, and we stayed in Hamburg. It's nice to see you. I'm a big fan of Germany. It's a great place. If you haven't visited, put it on your list. And incidentally, one of our viewers whose birthday it is today, she's of Austrian and French descent, so she speaks Austrian German to her daughter, and I'm super jealous. The only thing I know how to speak or say in German is Ich liebe dich, which means I love you, which incidentally is a good phrase right now. We could all use a little. A little longer. You're looking so good. Almost done. See it from the side? Yeah, you can see it moving around there, right? And said with a beautiful accent. Oh, fucking cute. You're just being nice. Okay. Yes. That's what I'm gonna call it. See? Look how pretty. Sorry, I don't mean to wave things around too much, but see how creamy and lovely it's getting and drippy? That's a good enough consistency for me. So if you wanted to, I'm gonna move my hand here. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could keep going and you can make it even more liquidy, but think about what you're going to be using it for. Yeah, right, Matthias? Beautifully done. Thank you, Jay Awesomes. Yeah, so it's so easy. So you can make your own. You don't have to buy it from the store if you don't want to, as long as you have a good food processor, of course. A RoboCoupe would be the best. The RoboCoupes are like $500, and that's what you find in a restaurant. It's an industrial food processor. But this Cuisinart does the job. But like I said, just remember the density of the nut makes a difference. So it's a lot easier to make pecan butter, walnut butter. I guess you could even mix it up with some of the less processed stuff for a little kind of crunch. Yes, you could. You could totally do that. Actually, that's a good point. You can even, if you wanted, because you know how you can get smooth and chunky, if you wanted, depending on what the nut butter is, you could make your nut butter, and then you could take a handful of whatever the nut or nuts are, if you're doing two, and chop them up roughly, and then just like stir those in. So you get your own crunchy nut butter too. So there are no shortages of possibilities of things you can do with this, but keep in mind, what am I going to use this for? So for this, I might, I think on Monday we're going to make granola bars, so I'm not going to, I don't know if I'm going to use pecan butter or almond butter, but if I'm using this, I don't want this to be too liquidy because then the granola bar is not going to stick together very well, so I might even pull back and make it closer to a paste than to a butter. So just think about the end application. So that's it, my friends. We just made pecan butter. You just did it with me. I hope that you're able to do it at home if you didn't do it right now. And if you have any questions or anything as you're doing this, if you added crystallized ginger to the blend, would that change the consistency too much? I don't know the answer to that question because I've never done it, but my assumption would be that yes, if you're gonna add crystallized ginger, what's coming up in my mind is the like gummy ginger. That would definitely change the consistency, but if it's like a powder or a sugar, I don't know. Maybe add like a teaspoon at a time and see, because it could seize the butter up. That's the only thing that I would be worried about. I'll certainly try someday and let you know about the result. Thank you so much for saying that and for joining. Yeah, so you could try it, but if it's a crystallized ginger that's like more of a gummy, I would cut it up and just stir it in after. Yeah, so I'm gonna show up here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:15, Ted. I'm asking my husband because his yoga is from 9 to 10, right?
Yeah, 10-ish, right? I finished 10:05, 10:10, so yeah.
So he's requested that we do 10:15 just so that I have help with the kiddos, and so that he can join in too. I think he's just feeling left out, but he wants to make sure that you also all have the opportunity to do yoga, which he's offering for free every single day, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday through Saturday. Saturday's an hour and a half though. So if you want, you can send me your email. Mine is, can you please send the link for Ted's class again? Yes, Ted's class is on I'll send you the link, but it's on Facebook, Teddy McDonald, McDonald, Teddy, TEDDY, and 5 Yoga Malibu on Facebook. And every day except for Sunday at 9 a.m. he will be there for as the foreseeable future, as long as this goes on, and probably even later, because then more people get the opportunity to practice yoga with Ted beyond just the community in Malibu, which is really cool actually. That's one of the ways that this thing is, I mean, there's always a light and dark to every single situation, and the lightness of this is that it's bringing us together in different ways that we wouldn't have been brought together before, and that maybe we should have. So yeah, so we're trying to make the best of it, and that's how we're doing it. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:15 a.m. I will be here, and I will, if you send me an email to Lauren, LAUREN .Lobley, LOB as in boy, LEY @gmail.com. I will put together a little distribution list so that I can send out the recipes and the ingredients the day or two before the video, so that, what's that in UTC? UTC, what is UTC?
Yeah, that's a time zone.
Oh, in Germany? Oh, thank you so much to the both of you for providing us sending this virtual company of one another. You're so welcome. We should just keep doing it. And Matthias, my husband, is checking the time right now. So right now, let's do this. Right now it's 10:30 a.m. Pacific Coast time.
What time is it?
So 6:30 p.m. right now for you.
It's 6:30 p.m. in Berlin.
Yeah, so at 6:15 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Germany time, I will be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it. Thank you for making this butter with me. Thank you for joining me. Oh, you're welcome, Matthias. I'll see you next week. And if you need anything, seriously, email me. I'm here. If you've got contents of the refrigerator and you don't know what to do with them, email me. I'm here. I'm going to be posting a lentil lasagna video today or tomorrow, depending on how fast I can edit it. So that's another good recipe for you. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed that. Bye. I feel, what's that, the romper room? I see Maria and Matthias and Victoria and Valeria and Stephanie and Sam and Bella and Jay Awesomes, who's too cool for telling me her real name or his real name. Just kidding. You're not too cool. It's totally fine. I'm just jealous because I don't have a nickname like that. That's all. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.